watchOS 10 is a pretty big redesign, and there are tons of new features and updates, and we're going to focus on all of the features that I think you need to know. But before we jump into all of that, please hit that subscribe button. We've got new iPhones, Apple Watches, all of the new products coming in very, very shortly. We should have videos up on those, and you don't want to miss all of the coverage. Starting with the overall user experience, which has had a pretty big change. When you swipe up, you now have this new Smart Stack widget UI, where you can customize different widgets and all of the info that's available in this like little card-like fashion. There's also a quick way to get to all of your apps there at the bottom of this screen, and you can use the crown to go through the widgets, or obviously just use your finger and swipe around. A lot of the first-party apps received some pretty big redesigns as well, like Activity, which now has icons in the corners to get to where you want to go within the app pretty quickly, or if you want to swipe between the large full-screen pages for each ring and your other metrics, you can do that, and it's really, really well laid out, and there's tons of more information and space to kind of see everything. I really like the look of these new apps, and this goes across some of the other first-party apps, like Weather, which now shows you all of your weather information in this beautiful new style, similar to the Activity app, and you can change between different condition, temperature, precipitation, wind speed, and more. You can also scroll to see hourly or daily views as well, and even the Stock app now shows you more stock-related information in this newly redesigned UI that goes across watchOS 10. Now, heading back to the home screen here, whenever you would swipe up, you'd actually get to the control center. And actually, it was a lot harder to get to the control center inside of other apps. You kind of had to like press and hold and then swipe up. And I don't think a lot of people knew that you could do that. But if you want to get to control center, you just press the right side button here, and that'll take you into control center inside of any app or anywhere that you might need to, which is actually really nice to have just kind of always readily available. If you press the digital crown, you're going to get the new grid style app view, which is also easier to find apps compared to the more honeycombed chaos that we had in years past. Now, it still kind of looks the same, but it's definitely in a more manageable, kind of more thought out list and rows of finding the different apps. Or you could go into that list view that I've used to use in years past, but you know, you kind of scroll forever in that one. Now I use this more manageable grid style instead of the list view, because I think it's just a little bit easier to find the apps. And also, fun fact, you can still access the dock that used to be here when you would press in the digital crown by just double pressing the digital crown. So instead of one press, it's a double press. watchOS 10 also brings you new watch faces like this palette watch face, the Snoopy watch face, which has I think over 100 different animations between Snoopy and Woodstock, and it like kind of reacts based on the time of day or the weather or whatever activity you might be doing. You could see a different animation, which is always pretty fun. There's a new solar analog, which features classic hour marks on a luminous dial with light and shadow that shift throughout the day. And there's a new modular Ultra watch face, which is for, you guessed it, the Apple Watch Ultra. And this uses the edges of that taller display to give you more complication space. And there's also a new Mindfulness App where you can log your momentary emotion or daily mood and can get reminders to log your state of mind through notifications, complications, etc. Honestly, there are tons of other new features and improvements that you should totally check out, but we just don't have time to run through them all in this video. But you can click the link in the description down below and see all of those changes and the new features inside of watchOS 10. And of course, I would love to hear your thoughts about watchOS 10 down in those comments. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.